Hi everyone. So today in our independent practice, the division exit ticket. If you take a look, we needed to divide 6,932 divided into 29. So the first question that you should ask yourself is, okay, I have 6,932 and I'm going to divide this equally into 29. So how many 29s are there in 6,932? In order to do this, I am going to use and find what I know about the divisor. So what I know about 29. Our divisor is 29. So if you take a look, I know that 29 times 1 is 29. So 29 times 10 is 290. We will do the same with 100. Then we will do 29 times 2. So remember, 20 times 2 plus 9 times 2, that will be 58. And then I will do exactly the same times 20 times 200. And as you can see here, you can see that we're getting closer to 6,000, right? 900. So I'm going to go ahead and say, well, before I go ahead, I'm going to keep going. So I know that 29 times 300 is going to be over 6,000. It's going to be 8,700. 29 times 4, 116. 29 times 40, 1,160. What you heard was my cat probably doing something. Don't worry about it. So here we go. So I will start saying I'm going to find 200 groups of 29. So once I found 200 groups of 29, that means that we found 5,800. And we're going to subtract that because that means that we're sharing that equally. So we get 2, 3, 9 minus 8 is 1, and 6 minus 5 is 1. Then we are going to bring this number to our next box because that means that we are going to keep dividing that. We're going to keep finding how many 29s are there or how many groups of 29s I'm going to find. So if you take a look, our closest number is 29 times 30. So I will write my partial quotient is 30. 29 times 30 equals 870. And then we're going to subtract that. 2 minus 0 is 2. I will borrow 1, so this will become a 13. 13 minus 7 is 6. This became a 0, so I'm going to borrow 1. So 10 minus 8 equals 2. So that means that we will keep looking for groups of 29. So how many groups of 29 are there in 262? So if I know that 29 times 4 equals 116, we know that 29 times 5, 20 times 5 equals 100, and 9 times 5, 45. So that will equal 145. As you can see, you're getting closer to 262. So maybe we should try 29 times 6. So we know that 20 times 6 is 120, and 9 times 6 equals 54. So we have 174. So we're getting even closer there. So we should keep going and try to find what we know. So 29 times 7, I know that 20 times 7 equals 140. And 9 times 7 equals 63. So now we have 203. Now if you take a look here, 9 times 7 is 63, and 20 times 7 is 140. If you take a look, I think that we could keep adding. So maybe we should go over 29 times 8. If we find that, and this will help us get as closer as we can to the number that we're sharing. Okay, so I know that 9 times 8 equals 32, and 20 times 8 equals 160. So we're talking about 232 here. Okay, so as you can see, we are now just 30 away. So I think that this is a good number. So I'm going to say, I'm going to go ahead and use this as my partial quotient. So I know that I'm going to use 8 groups of 29, and that equals 232, that I will take away from 262, and that gives me 0, 3, 0. So now I have 30 left. And my question is, how many groups of 29 are there in 30? Well, just one. So 1 times 29 equals 30. So we will go ahead and subtract 29 minus 30, and that equals 1. So we're going to go ahead and add what is 200 plus 30 plus 8 plus 1. Those are our partial quotients. So that gives us 239, and we have a remainder of 1. So that means that we have 239 and 129, or a remainder of 1. And that will be the answer for the first problem.